Good morning, everybody. I also got out early today. I found the way. It generally means making and preparing everything a night beforehand. That way I go drop off my kids at school and kindergarten and I'm able to go out. I'm not going to be wasting a lot of time talking today. I want to get flying. I have the tiny trainer, I have the wing and the simple soarer, and I'm gonna give those a shot right now, turning you off, and we'll be back shortly. Alright, well, first of all, the field is super muddy, which kind of makes it a bummer on everything. But hey, I'm not giving up. The battery that I was using just now is a 3-cell 1000, which is also kind of damaged, so there's no point in giving any try here. I'm just gonna change to a different battery. Another plane crash way out there. I'm gonna have to go get it. I don't know, something's not working fine for me with the tiny trainer this morning. It might be the mud on the motor, it might be the mud on the prop. It just generally might be mud everywhere. Like I said, it's super muddy out here. I'm gonna go get the plane, give it another shot, and if that doesn't work as I really wanted to, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the transmitter into the simple soarer and give that a shot. Whoa! Whoa! Ouch. Well, there's something not working quite well. There's something not working quite well with this tiny trainer today. I don't know. I really don't know. It has a super high stall. I guess it's part of the reason is connected to the strength of the battery and the way the motor is spinning, which is quite fast. But it is climbing really high, really quickly. It's really stalling all the time. I'm gonna give it a try with a smaller battery. Hopefully that will do the trick. Maybe we'll have a little less power. It'll be a little more controllable. I'm gonna go get the plane again, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna give the Versa wing a try, and the simple soarer a try. I'm not too pleased about flying today, even though I was really waiting for it and planned it all a few days in advance. But the field is just so muddy, it's impossible to even walk to get the plane. You really have to walk it slow to make sure you're not slipping. And if I show you my boots, then you'll understand what I mean. And I'm happy I actually came with boots, because I was thinking of coming with Crocs, which wouldn't have been all that good of an idea. Alright, well, looks like the motor is packing up some mud. I might as well call it a day on the tiny trainer if I don't want to have this motor go to waste. Alright, so one of my last goes damaged a servo. I don't have any more servos of 3.7 or 5 gram servos, and the store where I usually buy at doesn't have them as well. So I'm gonna have to order those off the internet. You might hear the sound of the servo. That's not sounding good. I'm gonna go back to where I was sitting and kind of recap what I'm gonna do. I might call it a day earlier than I wanted today, simply because it's way too muddy to even fly. It's super hard to even walk. I mean, you can take a look at my boots and understand how problematic it is. I'm happy I came with boots and not with my Crocs like I wanted to, because otherwise I would have been in real deep dirt. No, you can also see here that the servo is damaged. And like I said, unfortunately that was the last of my servos. So tiny trainer, 4 channels is no longer an option, unfortunately. Bummer. Alright, so we got the simple Soarer fixed up. Put in the receiver, checked the controls, and everything is working alright. I kind of fear from this because it's also super muddy. It never really flew the first time. It does seem to have the power to go a lift. Hoping for the best, hoping that this dirty and muddy field will help me fly calmly. Aha! We did it! We did it! We did it! And you know what's super nice about the simple Soarer compared to anything else is that I'm at no throttle or very little throttle. It's still being able to keep anything above this. Literally makes it stall. Now I do have some left issue or something like that because the plane was literally spinning until I could actually find it, but it got a lift. It actually flew. I'm happy. Woohoo! And I tell you what, it's actually quite cool, the bigger planes. As much as I don't really get along with them, they're quite cool for one simple reason. They're more noticeable in the sky. I broke the prop on this crash, which kind of sucks, because that's the only prop I had for the simple Soarer. So at least we know it's flying. We do know that we have some issues with trimming this plane, but look at the motor, look at the battery. I'm gonna call it a day. I gave a shot just to the Versa wing, which I also brought along with me, and you know, if I already brought along all these planes, I might as well do them. I might just need to fix this. I could try to clean that out. I think something's burning. I think something is gonna burn. It just seems like I clogged up the motor. Let's try this without everything on it. I did have my power pod flow. Oh, fuck. First off is detach that. Second off is detach these two. So so that I can take it off. Reattach that back in. So, second prop out. Ah! Arr! Arr! That's all I have to say. Arr! Look at it. It's so freaking super muddy. And it's so freaking disappointing because I so wanted to fly today. I had all the planes with me. At least the ones that I have ready, which is the Tiny Trainer, the Versa Wing, and the Simple Soarer. The Simple Soarer did get a lift and went airborne, which I'm happy about. I did have some very bad issues with keeping it a balance. At some point I did manage to get it a balance, but it crashed. The prop broke. I don't have an extra prop. The motors seem to be super clogged up with dirt, hoping that I didn't ruin it because it seemed to stop spinning at some point. Anyways, I'm gonna take off the wings. Gonna try to fix the motor, make sure that it's still working, and I'm gonna give the Versa Wing a try. Alright, so I did damage my motor, apparently and unfortunately. I'll just let you see what it does and you'll understand what I mean. And let me just connect this back into the battery. I hope I'm not going to ruin the ESC as well with this remark, but I do want you guys to see that I know that the motor has probably went AWOL. Well, for some unknown reason, it's not even responding right now, so I honestly do not want to ruin my ESC as well. Let's go give the Versa Wing a try. Alright, so it took me quite a bit to remember how I set this receiver transmitter to work with a mix. I got it. I finally did. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna shoot it up in the air exactly like Arcfire showed me the other day, quite a while ago actually, when he was tossing it directly into the sky at 90 degrees angle and then leveling it out. I'm gonna go for that try first. Worst case scenario, everything breaks and I call it a day because the rest of the planes are either damaged or damaged. Simple Soarer motor is broken. One of the servos on the sports wing for the Tiny Trainer is broken. Now the only thing that we got left, which is somewhat decent, is the Versa Wing. We're going to try to check balance really quick, and then we're going to fire it up, hoping for the best, man. As you can see, it's nose heavy the way it should be. A little nose heavy. Maybe a little too much, so what we're going to do is we're going to just push the battery a bit back. Alrighty, right. Looks perfectly fine. Bam! I think this motor doesn't have enough power to get this plane a lift. That's my take on things. I try to toss it in front of me instead of up, so you guys could see what I'm seeing. Again, all this nasty ass mud. Whew. So I'm gonna have to do a lot of freaking cleaning out today, which is kind of a bummer. If you guys have any idea for muddy day situations, I'd be more than welcome to hear your piece of advice on it. If this doesn't work, I'll probably I think, just think that the prop might be on backwards right now, so we're gonna quickly just wipe down my hands a bit, pull out this thing that I have in my pocket, change the prop around. Just that's what feels that's wrong with this, is that this prop is set up backwards. Well, although the numbers should go to the front, I'll just change it quickly, see what goes. Worst case, it's gonna crash again. Didn't fly anyhow, so no real point in worrying too much. Never was able to get the Versa wing to even fly a bit. Let's see. Does work as great as the fan, but the wind is going the wrong way, so I guess the motor was going the right way. The wind is coming forward right now where the wind should be pushing back. I'm gonna change that up again. The motor was alright. The prop was set up correctly, I mean. I just think that this motor might be either not calibrated correctly, or the prop is just not right. I really do not know. We're gonna give this another shot, last shot, and if not, we can either try to hook up this motor. Oh, I wanted to say hook it up to the simple Soarer, but there again I remembered that I have no more props that could fit that motor. Bummer. Or that actually not fit that motor, but that need to work or could work with that plane. So I don't have any prop right now that can actually work with that plane, the simple Soarer. So it's a bummer. I do have to say that today was a kind of a bumming out day. Anyways, let's give this another shot. Boom. I think the only time I actually managed to make this sort of stay even was when I tossed it. I tell you what, this prop, this prop seems to be pushing backwards. I know that what I'm gonna do now is probably stupid, but I'm gonna give it a shot anyhow, because apparently this prop just might not be the right prop for this plane. So let's quickly take this prop apart. I'll put a smaller prop. Just see what happens. Take this tiny trainer prop off of here. The hole might not be big enough. Never mind, let's give it a shot. I have a feeling that my issue with the VersaWing is not so much about anything but the prop. That's what I'm starting to think. Anyways, I don't have a bigger prop, but I do have this one, which is a 6x4. I know this plane usually needs an 8x6, but hey, it's worth the try. Otherwise, we'll call it a day anyhow. So if this prop breaks, which it could, I'd still be happy to give it another shot. With a smaller prop, maybe that prop is the issue, because the wind seems to still be going the same direction. Usually when I start off a plane, it will fire back, meaning it will actually try to leave my hand. This one, except for doing some whole lot of wind, which is quite nice, isn't doing much. One last try. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip the prop around so that the numbers are actually going backwards. I'm having a feeling that this prop is not the right prop for this right motor, and it's not gonna work. So guys, I'll need your help to revise this, because I am eager to fly a wing. I really am. So I need your help on this one. I'm going to change this quickly, and we're going to give it a quick another shot up. Just give me a moment here. Oh, darn it. Alright, I'm gonna call it a day with this VersaWing. For some reason, I just can't get it to fly, but never mind, we're calling it a day. Broken up enough parts. Got my hands all dirtied up, my boots dirtied up, my plane's dirtied up. I'm gonna go put everything aside, and we'll call it a day for today. Oh, ho, ho. So I got another idea. Just because I don't want to call it a day. I really don't. I was thinking maybe I could try the simple Soarer wings on the tiny trainer. Let's see. Might work, might not work. God knows. But we'll find out. Hopefully it will work. Give me a little bit of lift. Considering my sports wings are broken and I can't be flying with a sports wing no longer, I'm going to give it a shot with the simple Soarer wings on the tiny trainer. If that works well, it should be awesome, because they have a dihedral and a polydihedral. Should give me a lot of base, stable, a lot of nice gliding kind of mode. So let's give it a shot and see what happens. Alright, so I hooked up the wings of the simple Soarer on the tiny trainer. There is one thing that I gotta do with this plane as opposed to the other ones a few moments ago when I was flying, is I need to change back everything that I had set up on the VersaWing back to normal. So just give me a moment here and check balance real quick. It's super heavy, nose heavy. Check it again. I know I'm a little short, but I want to go flying again. I'm bummed out, super bummed out. Super nose heavy. Still push the battery all the way back as much as I possibly can. It's still looking super nose heavy. Super duper nose heavy. No, I don't have any more to push the battery anymore because it's just literally out there. Alright, well, we're gonna try to deal with the nose heavy shit. Cut this wings out. Elevator. Ah! Alright, well, I had a few issues. Things didn't seem to bind up. Transmitter, receiver, plus I was attacked by a bunch of bugs, so I had to step away for a second, fix everything while I'm standing up in the air. The simple Soarer, the tiny trainer with the simple Soarer wings is a little nose heavy. I'll give it a shot since I kind of damaged most of my electronics, and I've been here for about 1.5 to 2 hours. I'm gonna give it another quick shot. Just really enjoy the last moment that I have. Bam! I think that was a bad throw, just not too much about anything else. Bad throw, nose heavy. Didn't manage to wind it out. Let's do it another shot. Nothing seems to be damaged. Right? For some unknown, interesting reason, things seem to work out quite fine. Gonna pause you for a sec because I don't need you to watch me and I don't want to edit too much, so I'm gonna pause you for a sec. Go get it again. Alright, well, it went fine. I'm gonna need a damn good shower after this. I'll scrub myself up. Let's give it another shot. Tiny trainer, simple Soarer wings. You know what I like about flight tests is that you can always take parts from planes, mix them up to another plane, and still have a day, you know. I broke my sports wings for the tiny trainer, I broke the motor for the simple Soarer, and I just couldn't get the Versa wing to fly. But all the while, I came up with this cricket idea, hooking up the simple Soarer wings on the tiny trainer, and hey voila, I have a few more moments of flight just before I'm gonna call it a day. Has some weird stall characteristics, this plane. Generally, this time around, all the planes I've built, the simple Soarer with a 1300 battery, a little bit too much throttle, and you could pretty much fly like a helicopter. Damn! That was like a kajing. I'm guessing that didn't end up well. Let's go find out. Nah, not all that bad. Motor filled with dust. Chinging. That wasn't good. And that's my way of cleaning it up a bit. Battery flew out. Battery flew out. I'm sorry for all this mess. Battery flew out. Motor seems to be fine. I had a break of a barbecue screw here. Screw here, which made my wings flap. I guess that was the clank I heard. Motor seems fine. Fuselage looks fine. Battery just got shoved out, full of dust and dirt and mud. I think I'm gonna call it a day. I am muddy. I'm dirty. I'm sweating. I'm kind of hungry. I think I'm gonna call it a day. Alright, well, I got into this experimenting mode, and I decided not to call it a day just yet. I'm gonna give it another shot with the simple Soarer wings. I'm gonna use a 2-cell 1000 milliampere battery and see how it goes. I'm having a feeling that each time I use the 1300 milliamp battery, 3-cell, it has way too much power. The motor just spikes up, gives me a lot of pitch, and actually makes the plane climb up in a stall kind of way. Very hard to fly that way. I'm able to control it, but it's not as comfortable as I'm used to. I'm gonna give it another shot. Considering I still have one last battery that I haven't used, and once we use that battery, we're gonna call it a day. Okay, well, 2-cell battery, simple Soarer wings, tiny trainer fuselage, too heavy, don't try it. And it landed directly in the biggest pile of mud of the day. I'm gonna call it a day. Have a nice one. Alright, so we're in the car. We called it a day. It was a little bit difficult and fun to fly today, simply because it was super muddy. So every crash I had to clean up mud from everywhere, starting from my hands, my shoes, my motors, my servos. Really anything and everything had to be cleaned off of mud. Not as fun to fly when the field is muddy. I mean, if it's calm dirt or soft dirt, then it's fine. But when it's super muddy, like muddy that the earth can't even obtain or absorb, to be more exact, any more water, then it's kind of muddy, not fun. I did have fun though, because I was playing around with all the 3 planes that I have, starting from the tiny trainer, which for some unknown reason didn't really fly well today. A simple Soarer, which I was able to get it airborne. Not too much to control it, but I was able to get it airborne. I don't know exactly what's the reason, but hopefully you guys will watch the video that I'm going to post later on today or tomorrow, and you're going to give me your feedback. What I did learn today though is that you just don't give up when the weather is bad. I had fun, even though it was muddy, nasty. Not as fun to clean off mud from everywhere, hands, shoes. I was just sitting outside the car for like 10-15 minutes, just cleaning off my shoes so that I don't bring mud into the car. Tried to do the same thing with the planes and the blanket that I was using and basically everything. I did find out that the tiny trainer can fly with the simple Soarer wings. Difficult to fly, but can fly. I'm happy. Generally, I'm happy with today. I'm sweating, I'm disgusting, and I need a shower. So I'm gonna wrap it up for today. Hope you guys are gonna enjoy the videos and watch them and feedback me on them. So for today, I'm gonna call it a wrap. Right, so I'm driving home, and while I'm driving home, I'm thinking of a few things kind of coming to my mind, so I kind of want to share with you guys and get your opinion as well. Considering that I couldn't really fly well today with a tiny trainer sports wing, and considering that generally I'm not managing to get those 8s and basically practice the basic maneuvers that I want to get from the sports wing, I'm asking myself if maybe I should back up one step, go back to the glider wings on a 3-channel, just so that I could practice a little more. So I don't know what's your take on this, but I'd really appreciate to hear your feedback about it. The question, basically, just to kind of sum up, is should I go back to the 3-channel on the tiny trainer with the glider wings, or should I continue practicing and trying to practice the 4-channel with the sports wing and the ailerons? The reason why I'm asking is because I find it a lot easier to control the plane when you're using the ailerons, as opposed to flying the plane when you're using only the rudder. Looking forward for your feedback regarding this question that I've just brought up.